Personally, in my opinion, the hardest part of trying to conquer any addiction or any kind of misstep you take in getting rid of old habits, the hardest part is just realizing that you're human. It's just realizing that these urges you're given into are what make up part of your human experience, because you aren't this unstoppable machine or this, flawless individual, that you do make mistakes. And ultimately, that guilt and shame you might feel in the moments after and hours after you gave back into an old habit or an old addiction, ultimately that is what's going to drive you towards your goals and dreams that you really want out of life. So many of you have asked me to do a video about addictions, so I'm going to just first disclaim that I am not an expert. I am least scientifically and I would even say knowledge-wise educated on dealing and eliminating addictions completely. All I can do is give my 2 cents on my own real-world experiences of quitting certain habits and just pass it on. If it works, it works. If it don't. And if you do need to seek actual professional help, please do. But the first tip I can give for sure is to identify your triggers. To really take inventory at the end of your day and look at, okay, what was it? Who was it? What environment was it that I was around that caused me to start and relapse? So that's the first thing. The second thing, guys, is to also realize that there's a good quote that goes, you can never move on to the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last. And what that means is that while it is good to reflect and while it is good to examine where we had made our mistakes, we have to move on to and take the next day as it comes, and to put all our energy into taking it hour by hour right now in overcoming those addictions and habits. Because if you just end up going on a crusade against yourself, a one-person crusade against yourself, on all the times you did the old habit, the old addiction earlier in the week, it is going to hurt a lot and it is going to cost you mentally. So whatever happened earlier in the week, take accountability. That's the third thing. To not run away from the mistakes that you have made. So this point about intentionally taking accountability, with intentional being the underlined word, is something I feel can be so lost in the help world and the motivational sphere. But really looking at, why are you taking a course correction? Why are you going every day to the gym and not stopping into the Starbucks and Papa John's and every other fast food chain that you could stop in because you have money and you're hungry? Really honing in on why are you changing your path for the future. Because I feel like so often when we're trying to conquer these old habits and put down these addictions, that we don't set ourselves goals. And they don't have to be huge, super huge goals. Little goals, the power of little goals can be immense. But I feel like so often when people are on their journey of trying to better themselves, they're not going in with the intention to, okay, I'm doing this because my goal in the future is that I can eat this Papa John's every once in a while without worrying about getting a heart attack because I've neglected myself for so long, and now I'm 45 and at risk. So it's these things, being intentional and having those goals and really seeing like why you're giving up this addiction to pursue XYZ. That is being intentional. You are accepting that you've messed up by relapsing before, but then as you decide not to relapse, you see the goals and almost delayed gratification you get from pursuing this road of betterment. So that is my tip: intentional accountability. And what helps is by setting those goals and by thinking about, why do you want to drop this old habit? How is it affecting your self-esteem? All of these things come into play. Intentional accountability. Number 4, and this one kind of breaks my heart to think about, but it's to try and have some support systems. It always kind of breaks my heart because some of my friends I've known for a while will tell me what they're going through, and like I know their background, and for them not to have the support that they should, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And that's why I say this is a complicated point, because I really genuinely believe support systems are the best way to help overcome whatever relapse that has happened or old habit / addiction you're trying to quit for good. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're brave enough to take the first steps. It's happened, you messed up, you gave into like those urges that I said before. It's part of being human. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you're brave enough to want to get your life on track with intentional accountability. And so that's why I would urge you to then go and reach out to those groups and people where there's similar situations happening to them. Some organizations are like better than others. I'm not saying you have to go through any of the government ones, but to really try and find those support systems. And it can be really anxiety bringing to people, and I fully recognize that, because it does to me. I grew up in an environment where I hated asking for help, because if I did ask for help, I was told what I felt was invalid, and that just led me to further, with me it was excessive drinking, so just led me to drinking way too much on weekends and turning every free time I had into a time, maybe to drink. But that is the point. Support systems. If you can't, please reach out to and do your research into the groups that you can try and join that can help, or to privately join the groups that could help. So that's number 4. Number 5 is energy management, specifically shifting from a state of willpower but to energy management. And what I mean by that is really examining the areas of your life, such as energy, food, diet, water intake, all these areas. When you start working on how much sleep you're getting, or instead of going to reach for that drink, looking at how can I make myself more full during the day. If you are looking at improving all these areas, you are able to start building a different kind of resilience and physical strength as well, because you might even start going to the gym maybe if you don't work out. You'll start building a physical as well as a resilience to the urges, and so you're no longer in a state of using absolute willpower to stop it, but you're actually in the state of managing your energy, and encompassed in that is your sleep that you're getting, and the food, water intake, all of this. There's just amazing results that can benefit and help you quit your old addiction. Those are all my tips for this video. I'm a little tired. You can get through this and you can do right for yourself. I believe in you more than you probably think. So that is it, guys. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. I'ma upload this and go to sleep. Thank you for all the responses in the last few videos. I'm so glad that I've been able to reach so many people so far. Let's keep building this thing into whatever.